All right, so what I've done here is I've uploaded all of the photos into a Photoshop file and, the various sizes here. So I'm not going to be able to do it all in one uh, artboard like I had originally proposed. So what we're going to do is open them up individually. So let's make a video and just grab this first one, chopped hazelnuts. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to about 400, blow it up. Uh, I'm going to use the pen tool on, well, we talked about using shapes. So let me show you how we do a shape tool. So I'm holding down shift to keep a perfect circle. I'm going to make sure that this is just a solid color with no border. Line it up, holding shift to constrain it into the right shape. Just getting the curves. Cool. So that, and then I'm going to go layer, duplicate layer. Scrunch this to get our curve here. Now the problem with doing it this way is these are just shapes on top of shapes, right? So eventually you're gonna have to create, lump them all together and create it as, one shape. I've been doing this a while, so I like to use the pen tool. Just it's probably a lot more accurate way to do this. But pick a point to start at. And now I'm gonna click this. See how it's got that straight line. And as I pull it, it's gonna allow me to do a curve or a node. If I hold down shift, so I'm holding it here, if I hold down shift, it will kind of constrict it, to the proper shape. So that's usually a smart way to do it, circles. So I'm gonna shift. And then again, bring it, make sure it's a solid color. And a lot of times I'll bring the transparency down like I was talking about. Now look, we can see I'm on the line. On the line here. But because I'm doing it as a pen tool, I can mess with these curves afterwards. Just by bringing them a little bit up or a little bit down, I can affect getting the right curve. And that looks pretty nice there. All right, now I go back to the pen tool and I click there. That'll allow me to continue on making this curve. Okay, back and trim it up, see if there's anything that I need to adjust. All right. Oh yeah, Photoshop's a little bit different with this. So it's going to want me to continue on in a circle here, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to click there and see how it makes this screwed up curve. That's because of this pathway here. But if I go back to my arrows, I can take this and I can tighten this down back to the node. I'm not going to release until I get it quite right. There we go. And then now I can adjust this one back. That'll give me a start to be able to start a new angle here. And then if I grab this convert point tool, then I can add that curve, go back to the pen. Just gonna go ahead and continue on here. Now what I'm doing is I'm not making all of these perfect, just getting most of my points on here. This is just kind of another way of getting things done, I guess. All right, so now I know that those are a little bit messed up, so I'm going to come back and make my adjustments. For slight adjustments, you can also use your up, down, left, and right arrows on your keyboard, just for little incremental taps. That's a good way to do it. Tap, tap, down. Okay. Dissipate. That one tightens up. So I'm just checking all my curves and lines. That one's taking a little bit off. More off than we need. Looking good, looking good. Yeah, that's looking pretty snazzy there. So that would look sharp. It would cut off the little dowels here. If I wanted to keep these dowels, which I don't think, or these little knobs, which I don't think we need to, I think they'll look cleaner all around. But if you did want to do it, go here and see I hit the plus. So that's going to add a node wherever we want. So to do grooves like this, you'll add one in the beginning, you'll add one at the end. And then from there, let's even zoom in more to like 700. So from here, now you would just take this node. Oh, crap. Probably better yet, what you want to do is add a third one in the middle. And this is why this stuff gets to be a pain in the ass. Do it. So see, you'd have to add a third one right in the center. Then, you know, you can adjust them. Make sure that those nodes are perfect, right? That's if you wanted to keep them. I think it's going to look for product image better without it. So go ahead and zoom back out to 200. All right, now make sure that you bring your opacity right back up to 100. There's something that's a little funky there on the corner, so I'm going to zoom back in to 400. So this one is just a little too pointy, so I'm going to drop that down. Yeah, that looks good. Tap that over to the left one. Great. So now I'm going to go back to this layer, bring it up over the top, right click, create the clipping mask. Boom. Now, what's great about this is there's some spots that are a little too dark, right? And that just means that we got to take some of the shape away. And this is where I was talking about having these nodes is the best way to go about it, because now I can just incrementally tap them in, right? To get a tight crop. Because those hard lines are unnecessary and will show up like a sore thumb on a white background. Nice. It's looking better and better. This one here. Trim that down. Looking good. Perfect. Oh, this little node over here. Let's tap that guy in. Much cleaner. Cool. 10 Junes. Now, take that, convert to smart object. So now it's selected as one. Then I can select all and then center vertically and horizontally. Little trick that I'll do here, I'll show you a little way to do a shadow. So if you go layer, duplicate layer, right? And then I'm going to go to the effects, color overlay, make it black. Okay, right click and convert that to a smart object. Now I'm going to bend this down. Okay, then I'm going to come over here and go edit, transform. Let's just go ahead and do distort. Distort's pretty easy. That lets you move each node. So look, I'm going to distort it out like this. Create the shadow. Drop it behind. Get your shadows right. Let me do edit, transform, distort again. Okay, then from there, go filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Turn it down. Okay, right click, convert to smart object. Now I'm going to go multiply. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and do a square. Gonna make a background layer, make sure it's white. Looking pretty sharp. I feel like we lost something a little bit up in here. So now, because we made it a smart object, I can double click on that and come back in here and edit things. So zoom back in to like 600. I didn't like something over here. Perfect. Now file save. That updates that PSB. That means it's going to be one of those smart objects. Perfect, and that cleaned up our edge a whole lot more. So from there, File, Export, Save for Web. I'm going to do JPEG, maximum, optimized, 206 kilobytes. Drop that down to perfect. Save that. Chop hazelnuts.